Good evening, Council, Mayor, City Clerk, and everyone else. My name is Corey Morris. I live on 25628 Kenyon. And just a couple of little points I'd like to bring up. There were some questions that previous commentators came up here and asked about. In regards to why to have it in the city, well, while some people might be able to drive 20, 30, 40 miles away from the city to grab things, some of our citizens are reliant on public transportation to get from point A to point B. And if you look at our busing routes, it's a lot more convenient to go from the south end, like on Eureka, up Telegraph, into any of the neighboring streets there along the way. That would make it like a 20, 30-minute ride as opposed to hours trying to get to Riverview, or River Rouge, or Ann Arbor, et cetera, et cetera. My wife and I don't partake in cannabis just for personal reasons, but I don't see any reason why we should be letting anyone else suffer and not have access to that. It's just another consumable like alcohol, like tobacco. There's more tobacco shops opening every week in the city, it seems like. I don't want to be too hyperbolic, but there's plenty of them. There's a liquor store on every other corner. So why are we policing this so diligently? Even with the compromises that the council is making on specific distances from churches and schools, which I want to reiterate are happening, those distances are being considered. Your child's not going to go from an elementary school down and grab a doobie and smoke up with the teenagers down the street. It's not going to happen. So in that regard, I would just wish that, we have some sensible discussion here, look at the actual reading, and then go through with the readings. Remember, this is only a reading. This isn't putting it into the charter. This isn't a final resolution. It's a reading. Thank you.
Thank you. And if I could, I want to take a little latitude. I want to thank you and the Taylor Historical Society for putting together the list of every woman that has served in the city of Taylor. That was very nice and historic to get all that. Please come forward.
Hi. Hello. My name is Cheryl Shepard, and I live on Full Street over by Van Horn. This is my first time in the city council. But my point is, 6 years ago, we voted for the medicinal dispensaries to be approved, and that never even happened. And now we voted, well, I worked very hard to go get the signatures, and I probably talked to about half of these people in here, to get the signatures needed to put it onto the ballot. Before it even made it to the ballot, you guys removed it and put your own wording and put the 25,000, put it away from the schools, the churches, and everything else, when in theory it is only mandated that it only has to be 1,000 feet from schools, period. And yes, absolutely, if you want to add more to it, that's fine. But if you're making it so that it cannot be used, then it is not good enough. Now you're trying to say that, oh, well, since we can't do it, then we're just not going to do it. At every point, the citizens of Taylor, we the people, voted to have this in here. And if it's not for the use of the marijuana, it is because of the tax benefits. And if the city council cannot give us the yes vote that we need, we will get another city council in here. Right?
Please, audience. Thank you. You're recognized. No, you're doing great. You're doing great. Go right ahead.
But I use this platform to teach my 6-year-old daughter that if there is a law that you don't like, this is how you go about changing it. You get the signatures to put it on the ballot, you get it on the ballot, you get the yes vote on the ballot, and then it becomes a new law. And somewhere in this mess, this did not happen. And I don't know what to tell my 6-year-old daughter now. because you guys would not comply with what we, the people, voted on.
Thank you, ma'am. Are you done? Do you have anything more to say? Thank you.
One more thing.
I'm going to do the same that I did before. I'm going to allow anybody that has not spoken one time before. I will recognize somebody that, we did have one person that has already requested to speak a second time. Is there anybody else that has not had an opportunity to